Greetings from Edu Aspirants, a YouTube channel for academic, competitive and entrance exams as also enrichment of knowledge. In the series of our videos on India, this is the 10th chapter in which we shall cover defense. We will cover this into 3 videos in parts so that they don't become very long. Let us see what we have for you in these videos. The Defense Ministry frames policy on defense and security matters and communicate them to the service headquarters, inter-service organizations, production establishments and research and development organizations. For what? For implementation. This is the Ministry of Defense logo, Government of India. Army. Global and regional geopolitical and geostrategic issues affect and shape India's security environment. The Indian Army plays a pivotal role in the nation's security. Modernization of the infantry is being progressed based on 5 subsystems, that is lethality, survivability, mobility, situational awareness and sustainability. Indian Army is one of the largest troop contributors to the UN missions also, and this is the logo. Navy. It safeguards the seas for its legitimate sovereign purpose and guards against inimical intrusions. The main roles of Indian Navy are, that's the logo, and the roles are military, diplomatic, constabulary and benign. Air Force. The Defense Procurement Procedure 2016 assigned highest preference to make and buy. We all know that the Air Force guards us in the air. Indian indigenously designed and developed manufactured IDDM categories. LCA, that is the Light Combat Aircraft Mark 1A, the Light Combat Helicopter LCH, AWACS, the Early Warning and Control Systems as given here, and the High Frequency Radio Sets. These are some of the cases being progressed through the IDDM route for acquisition. 3 women flight cadets, Avani Chaturvedi, Bhavna Kant and Mohana Singh. They have created history by becoming the first women pilots to be commissioned into the fighter stream. Commissioned ranks in the 3 services, which we must all be aware of. Questions from this usually comes. A lieutenant of the Indian Army is equivalent to a sub-lieutenant of Navy and a flying officer of the Air Force. You can also call them lieutenant. Captain of the Army is equivalent to lieutenant of the Navy and flight lieutenant to the Air Force. Major equivalent of Navy is Lieutenant Commander, of Air Force is Squadron Leader. Lieutenant Colonel or Lieutenant Colonel is equivalent to a Commander of the Indian Navy and Wing Commander of the Air Force. Colonel, Captain of the Navy and Group Captain of the Air Force are all equivalent ranks. Brigadier of the Army has equivalent rank in the Navy as Commodore, and in the Air Force it is the Air Commodore. Major General of Army is Rear Admiral in Navy and Air Vice Marshal in the Air Force. Lieutenant General in the Army, Vice Admiral in the Navy and Air Marshal in the Air Force. General in the Army is the Admiral in the Navy and the Air Chief Marshal in the Air Force. So this is one rank here which confuses, another rank is here that confuses because captain is here in army, it is as a full colonel in the navy. And then we have the rear admiral, vice admiral, and vice marshal and air marshal. So this is like this. So this you must always remember to avoid confusion because such a question would be there in your exams. A field marshal, admiral of the fleet and marshal of the air force. So these ranks are given to the armed forces personnel who have dedicated their lives and given the fullest to their service. Indian Coast Guard. It was constituted in 1977 for safety and protection of islands, artificial also, offshore terminals and installations, protecting and assisting fishermen at sea while in distress, preserve and protect maritime environment and to prevent and control marine pollution, assisting customs and other authorities in anti-smuggling operations, safety of life and property at sea and collecting scientific data, enforcing the provisions of various enactments in the maritime zones, and this is the logo of the Indian Coast Guard. Commissioned officers in the armed forces are recruited mainly through UPSC, the Union Public Service Commission, which conducts the following two All India competitive exams. National Defence Academy NDA and Naval Academy exam, that is one exam, and the Combined Defence Services Examination CDSE. These exams are conducted for basic military training at Indian Military Academy, Air Force Academy and Naval Academy for permanent commission and 11 months at Officers Training Academy ODA to become Short Service Commission officers. Commission ranks in the three services. This is the general, where you have cross codes, star and the Ashok crown. Lieutenant General, the next rank, like this, and similarly you will have to mostly remember the higher ranks and the difference between the cross swords and the star and the Ashok crown. And then we now have the Chief of Defence Staff, the CDS, his badges, whether it is on his vehicle or in office or on his cap or on his shoulders. And the first Chief of Defence Staff was General Bipin Rawat, retired, who passed away in an air accident. And who is the latest? Yes, we'll see that in the current. This brings us to the end of the first video in the series of videos on defense. The next video will be uploaded soon. Please subscribe, like, share and do press the bell icon for latest updates. Best wishes for your forthcoming competitive exams.